Thank you so much. Thank you for having me, Charles and the team. Appreciate it. God, what a thing to do to somebody who's European. Give them something in each hand. Who am I going to talk? All right, let's get into it. What I'm here to tell you about is those productivity killers that you may not even know you're actually doing. Right? And you may be aiding and abetting and contributing to these because they're so sinister. They're just lurking in the background. They're things you don't even notice. Oh, here we go. All right, I've got control. Do you ever get to an end of the week and think to yourself, okay, I've been really busy, but what the heck happened? I mean, what the heck happened? Where did all that week go? My to-do list is still miles long. Do you ever have a week like that? Yes. Are you suffering from the terrible twos? You know, too little time, too much to do, too many distractions. Could you imagine getting 10 hours back a week during business hours? I mean, what could you do with an extra 10 hours? And Charles pointed out in probably a microsecond that 10 hours a week is equal to 200 hours a year. Now that's an impressive figure. Would it make life a little bit easier? Yes. Most of the people that I work with are usually very rushed, very overwhelmed. They're very, very busy. They want to get out of that cycle, they just don't know how. And what I do is I help very busy business owners and their people get off that unrelenting treadmill of busyness. Because you know what? It's actually really easy. In fact, it's far easier to be busy than it is to stop and think and decide what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. So we're all playing the more game. You know, we're going to do more, we're going to do faster. And in this day and age, that's a very quick road to burnout. So I've been around for a long time. I've worked with a lot of businesses. I've worked with thousands of people. I've been very, very blessed, who on average reclaim around 2.3 hours per day, and the business can increase productivity up to 67%. But what I'm here for today is to tell you about these productivity killers. So look, there are a few more than what I'm going to go through. I don't want to scare you with that, but these are 5 that I see over and over and over again. The first one is no operating rhythm. So what do I mean by that? Imagine if you got up every day and had to decide what you were going to do first. Does anybody have to do that? Like, does anybody end up like Superman with their underwear on the outside of their pants? You know? Operating rhythms are essential. If you don't have one for you, for your business, especially your key money-making tasks, for your key players within your business, if you don't have an operating rhythm together, then basically you're leaving a lot of the profit-making activities to chance. Okay? Operating rhythms actually help you have a routine. They help you build habits so that you do the things you're supposed to do before everything else. And you've probably got habits now. I would bet probably $50 that a lot of you would get into work, start on your emails first, and from there, whatever plans you had have gone out the window. So start with your money-making activities first. Have operating rhythms around your key tasks. Productivity killer number 2, technology. Not in the way that Lacko and not that way. What I find with technology is that a lot of people are a little bit scared of it. You know, they're not confident. They've got no time to learn. They are unsure of what they're supposed to do. And I see a lot of businesses implement a lot of technology and, okay, I've given you some training, we've had the person out, off you go, and they assume that everybody's going to go around and use it because it's good for business, it's going to save us time, and what everybody does is basically go back to whatever they were doing. If you want your people to embrace new technology, and if you want that technology to become a part of your business, you need to help support them through the implementation period, which is beyond one one training session. So I see a lot of people going around with mobiles and laptops and, you know, tablets all together usually, and then they pull out a piece of paper to speak to somebody. Right? So what do you have to do with that piece of paper? First you've got to not lose it. Then, as the leader was saying, you've got to capture everything that you've written on that piece of paper into a system. You'll do that later. And then, of course, you've missed the deadline on what you said you were going to get to the client by the day that you said you were going to get it. You come across it by accident. You drop whatever you're doing at that point and rush off to do whatever you said you were going to do. Is that familiar to anybody? Start to use, well, number one, if you're going to put new technology in place, help your people use it. And you can't measure what you don't see. So you've got to help them over a period of time so that you iron out all the bugs and all the problems that they're having, and so that they know that you're going to keep them accountable to using it. So you've got to do that over a period of time. Not everything that pings needs attention. And this is another big thing. I see a lot of people that have never changed the defaults on any of their applications. You know, we don't need to know what the rabbit's doing in some app that your child has downloaded, that it needs a drink or a hug or something like that. I don't know if any of you get things like this, notifications from your children's games that are on your phone. We don't need to have our cell phones texting us every second of the day. And these are the common distractors. So help your people reduce the distractions from the very tools that help us save time. All right, productivity killer number 3, goals. Too many goals and targets. You know, we've got so many goals and targets, and then we just seem to be pouring more and more on top because of all the great marketing we get thrown at us. And it's been proven that the businesses, oh yes, here we go. The businesses that have 1 to 3 priorities are the ones that actually report the best growth within their companies. So, be clear with your people what the priorities are for your business. Keep it simple. Don't keep pouring more on top. Get your priorities up on one page, somewhere visible so they can see it. You can't measure what you can't see. Help them use one system. Let me ask you, how many systems do you use to remember what you need to do? Who uses their phone? Yeah. Who uses a laptop? A calendar? A spreadsheet? Their hand. On average, we use 7 reminder systems to actually track and remember everything that we need to do. And when we use 7 reminder systems, what we're usually doing is we're using our memory to remember what we need to do. And that's like playing a chess game in your head with no board. Imagine that. So if you want to be able to improve your results, if you want to be able to move all of your projects and targets forward in a planned and proactive manner, you need to learn how to use one system. You need to show your people how to use one system and how to plan very effectively. There's something else I want to say on that. Oh yes, we use lots of complicated systems to plan. You know, we're very good at planning, but then if we've got 10 goals and plans, we're doing them all part-time. So it takes longer to get there, and we're diluting our efforts. So rationalize what's really key to your business. What are those 2 or 3 or 4 things that are actually going to make the biggest impact? Use one tool to track and manage what you're doing so that the people on the ground are actually doing something every day to move you forward. Number 4, open 24 hours. Are you switched in, plugged on? You know, always. I know people check 3 emails 3 o'clock in the morning, in the toilet, everywhere. You know, if the number 1 killer of productivity is no downtime, it's almost a badge of honor if we're open and up, you know, all hours of the day. But what this does is actually smothers problems. It doesn't give you an opportunity to solve those issues. So you need to rest. If you don't have a sleep time, put the alarm on to go to sleep so you know when you're supposed to go to bed. You need to oscillate. That's like a heartbeat. You know, when a heartbeat goes straight, it's not a good thing when we flatline. We're supposed to work and then rest, work and then rest. So when I say rest, I don't mean have a big muffin and, you know, coffees or whatever. I mean like go for a walk, get some fresh air, touch a tree, hug a tree if you want, smile, laugh. These sort of things are what revive us and refuel us. And as a business owner, you need to be on your best game when you're at work. When you don't rest, it kills creativity. It ensures that you major in the minor. You look for the easy, quick things to do rather than the things that actually take a bit of brain power. So make sure you rest, you take breaks, you work efficiently so that you can make the most of the hours of your day during business hours rather than stretch it out to weekends and evenings. Productivity killer number 5 is your work environment. This is one of the easiest places to start to improve your productivity and one of the biggest drainers of time. Just in that environment, you are multiple handling, you are procrastinating, you are causing probably self-crisis, there's interruptions, there's distractions. 5 of the biggest time stealers in a common workplace environment. Does that look like anybody's? You know, you've heard the saying, place for everything, everything in its place. And most people are usually set up a little bit too well for the information management. You can usually simplify that further. There is no need to file your information like you file paper in the electronic environment. And the bit that most people have missing is the workflow management. They normally don't have the steps, so they need to leave everything out in view so that they don't forget anything. And of course that just gets you starting and stopping and not finishing everything. Is it sounding familiar, people? Distractions in our work environment, there's plenty of them. Number 1 killer is text messaging, social media. They're here to stay, so have some ground rules in your business around what you expect of your people. You might even want to have a quid pro quo. Okay, if you're going to go on Facebook and have a laugh, then I want you to actually say something positive about the business too, you know? So again, information management's the most fundamental. Your workflow is the most fundamental. Get those right. You will reclaim back at least an hour a day. In fact, Wall Street Journal says that the average person loses an hour every single day to looking for stuff that they already have. Again, what would you do with 200 hours? What could you do with that? Oh my God, that's so much time. I can't believe I never saw that right in front of my face. What could you turn that into? But you know what? In the end, it is not anybody's fault. It's not a gadget's fault. It's not technology's fault. It's just that most of us aren't born in the digital age like our little ones, you know? And anyway, I won't start there, but even they are distracted and find it hard to focus with all the gadgets. But many of us have never been shown how to work, and particularly in this day and age where we're bombarded with information. And that's basically where I come in. I show people how to work so that they actually focus on the things that bring in the most money. So they get to go home on time, so they get to be with their families and rest. What you can do from here, there's a number of things. I've created a little audit for you, a little review. If you want to check out your environment, write down that that link there and download it, give it a go. It'll tell you what might be stealing the energy from you, what might be slowing you down, and what actually you've got set up really well. So give it a go. I've also brought some books. If you want to grab a book, it'll show you on an individual basis how to actually become efficient and effective. And I've got them there. Or put your card in the little container there and we'll draw one out. I'll draw one out and let you know tonight. I'll send you a text who won the book. So I'm here to help. Happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you for your time.